Alright guys, in this one I'm going to cover how to change your spark plugs. We're first going to undo these two screws at the top that are Torx bits, and then there's 4 clips down here that you'll need to unclip to pull this cover off. That'll expose your coil packs and your spark plugs. You're going to use a T30 Torx bit. Now to undo your cable on your coil pack, you're just going to lift the front right here, which will push your connector out. Just pull that to the side. Definitely some oil in cylinder 1. Cylinder 2 is dry. Cylinder 3 is dry. Cylinder 4 is dry. What the oil in cylinder 1 potentially means is that the gasket here at the top of your spark plug tube has failed, and it's allowing engine oil to come from the top of the head over into that tube. So I may need to replace this cover, or at least these gaskets, sometime soon. Now before I undo that spark plug, I'm going to try and wick some of that oil out of there. Now these spark plugs are pre-gapped at 32, which is what it's needed to be set at for these Mini Cooper R55s. But even if you order pre-gapped spark plugs, it's always a good idea to check that they're at the right gap. So while that one's soaking up oil, I'm going to go ahead and switch 4, 3, and 2 out. To get these spark plugs out, you're going to use a 14mm socket to fit over these little grooves. Once you've got your new spark plug in, you can reinsert your coil pack. Make sure that it's seated all the way down. Have this up. Put your plug back in, and then as you pull this down, make sure it clips into place and pulls your plug all the way to reconnect. And then repeat that 4 more times, 3 more times. And spark plugs shouldn't be super tight, but they should at least be tightened down to a very noticeable stop point. And this one, there's no way it was that tight. Cylinder 1 was completely submerged in oil. Now that we've got this pretty dried up, the socket pretty dried up, the hole as dry as we're going to be able to get it, put the new one in. I want to make sure to get your coil pack all dried up before you put it back in. I'm definitely going to have to replace those seals or this entire valve cover soon, so New video coming soon. And then reapply your 2 Torx 30 screws. Well, let's give her a go. First start on fresh spark plugs. So just having cylinder 1 not submerged in oil should be considerable help in with this engine running smoothly and stuff, not misfiring. I don't think I had a misfire, but it was not running very smooth, so that kind of explains that. As far as your coil packs are concerned, obviously when you had the cable unplugged and the coil pack removed from the top of the spark plug, if you need to replace one of those, you could just swap it out at that point. Where the coil pack goes, it doesn't matter. What controls your firing order is the plugs themselves. So these are pretty tight fit. You couldn't really swap one of those and get it put back wrong. But I have done that on a VQ35DE Infiniti G35 sedan, and that caused a massive problem. So make sure to put your wires back where they go. Other than that, catch you in the next one, guys. There's a learning curve. Yeah, I'm falling, can you hear me calling?